Hello students, today we start new chapter distribution system in water and wastewater engineering. These are the contents of today's topic: layout of distribution networks, method of water distributions, water reservoir, storage capacity of distribution reservoir. First one, introduction. The purpose of distribution system is to deliver water to consumer with appropriate quality, quantity and pressure. Distribution system is used to describe collectively the facilities used to supply water from its sources to the point of uses. The requirements of good distribution system. First one, water quality should not get deteriorated in the distribution pipes. It should be capable of supplying water at all the intended places with sufficient pressure head. It should be capable of supplying the requisite amount of water during firefighting. The layout should be such that no consumer would be without water supply during the repair of any section of the system. All the distribution pipes should be preferably laid 1 meter away or above the sewer lines. It should be fairly watertight as to keep losses due to leakage to the minimum. Now, layout of distribution network. The distribution pipes are generally laid below the road pavements, and such their layouts generally follow the layout of roads. There are in general 4 different types of pipe networks, any one of which either singly or in combination can be used for a particular place. There are 4 types of distribution system: dead end system, radial system, gridiron system and ring system. First one, dead end system. Here you look at the figure for the dead end system. It is suitable for old town and cities having no definite pattern of roads. Here main branch or main pipe, then branch pipe, then sub mains and cutoff valves for different branch pipes for proper pressure in the branch pipes. The advantages of dead end system is relatively cheap, determination of discharge and easier due to less number of valves. Then disadvantages: due to many dead ends, stagnation of water occurs in pipes. Stagnation means the water is held there for many times. Then radial systems. The area is divided into different zones. The water is pumped into the distribution reservoir kept in the middle of each zone. Then the supply pipes are laid radially ending towards the periphery. Here the figure for the radial systems. The main storage system are the middle portion and the water pipes are distributed radially. The advantages of radial system is it gives the quick service, calculation of pipe size is easy. Now gridiron system. It is suitable for cities with rectangular layout where the water mains and branches are laid in rectangles. Here you look that when the city is well developed in rectangular shape, the grid iron system is very useful for that. The main pipes, then the branch pipes, sub-main pipes and cut-off valves. Advantages of the grid iron systems: water is kept in good circulation due to the absence of dead ends. In the case of the breakdown in some section, water is available from some other directions. Then the disadvantage is exact calculation of size of pipes is not possible due to provision of valves on all branches. Then ring system. The supply main is laid all along the peripheral roads and the sub-mains branch out from the mains. This system also follows the grid iron system with the flow pattern similar in character to that dead end system. So determination of size of pipe is easy. Advantage is water can be supplied to any point from at least two directions. In case of one side a breakage occur, then the other direction are supply the water to the point. Here the ring systems layout, two direction are at least two direction for the water supply. Method of water distribution. For efficient distribution system, adequate water pressure required at various points depending upon the level of the topography of the source of the area. Locally, the water may and force into distribution system by following ways: one, gravity system, then the pumping system, and third one is the combined gravity and pumping system. First one is the gravity system. In the gravity system, it is suitable for when source of supply is at sufficient height, most reliable and economical distribution system. The water head available at the consumer is just minimum required. The remaining head is consumed in the frictional and other losses. Here you show that the water reservoir at the upper level and the town is at a lower level, so the gravity force are used for the distribution of water. Then pumping system. Treated water is directly pumped into the distribution main without storing. When the level of the source and the level of supply are same, or the level of source is lower down, the pumping system is required. It is also called as a pumping without storage system. High lift pumps are required for the pumping system. If power supply fails, complete stoppage of water supply. This method is not generally used. Third one is the combined gravity and pumping system. It is the most common system. Treated water is pumped and stored in the elevated distribution reservoir, then supplies to consumer by action of gravity. The excess water during low demand periods gets stored in reservoir and gets supplied during higher demand period. It is economical, efficient and reliable system. This is the figure of the combined gravity and pumping system source of water, then it is collected by the intake pump and it is transmit to the clear water reservoir underground, and the pump house is there, which is used for the water is lifted to the service reservoir. Distribution reservoir are also called service reservoir, are the storage reservoir which store the treated water from supplying water during emergencies such as during fires, repairs, and also to help in absorbing hourly fluctuation in the normal demand water. The function of distribution reservoir to absorb the hourly variation in demand, to maintain constant pressure in the distribution mains, and its water stored can be supplied during the emergencies. Location and height of the distribution reservoir, it should be located as close as possible to the center of demand, and the water level in the reservoir must be at a sufficient elevation to permit gravity flow at an adequate pressure. The type of reservoir, depending upon their elevation with respect to ground, it may be classified into surface reservoir and elevated reservoir. The surface reservoirs, these are called ground reservoir, mostly circular or rectangular in shape. Underground reservoir are preferred, especially when the size is large. These reservoirs are constructed on higher natural grounds and are usually made of stones, bricks, plain or reinforced cement concrete. The side walls are designed to take up the pressure of the water when the reservoir is full and the earth pressure when it is empty. The position of groundwater table is also considered while designing these reservoirs. The floors of these reservoirs may be constructed with RCC slab or square stone block resting on columns. To obtain water tightness, bitumen compounds are used at all construction joints. At the top of roof, about 60 cm thick earth layer is deposited and maintained green lawn to protect the reservoir from cold and heat. For aeration of water and the infection, ventilation stairs are provided. This is the underground reservoir to store the water. Inlet pipe, then the drain pipe, wall, columns and ventilators are provided on the underground reservoir. Then the ESR, elevated storage reservoir, also referred to as the overhead tanks, are required at distribution areas which are not governed and controlled by the gravity system of distribution. These are rectangular, circular or elliptical in shape. If the topography of the town not suitable for under gravity, the elevated tank or reservoir are used. They are constructed where combined gravity and pumping system of water distribution is adopted. These tanks may be steel or RCC. Now RCC is commonly preferred. The accessories of ESR are inlet and outlet pipe, overflow pipe discharging into a drain, then float gauge indicating the depth of water, Then the automatic device to stop pumping when the tank is full, a manhole and the ladder, and ventilator for circulation of fresh air. Here the image of the overhead tank, the pumping station and pressure created. Then the storage capacity of distribution reservoir. The total storage capacity of distribution reservoir is the summation of balancing storage, the required to be stored in the reservoir, equalizing the balancing fluctuating demand against constant supply is known as balancing storage or equalizing or operating storage. Then the breakdown storage. The breakdown storage, or often called emergency storage, is the storage preserved in order to tide over the emergencies posed by failure of pumps, electricity, or any other mechanism driving the pumps. A value of about 25% of the total storage capacity of reservoir, or 1.5 to 2 times of the average hourly supply, may be considered as enough provision for accounting the storage. Then the fire storage. The third component of this total reservoir storage is the fire storage. This provision takes care of the requirement of water for extinguishing fires. A provision of 1 to 4 person per day is sufficient to meet the requirement. When reserve storage is elevated, amount of fire reserve may be determined by R is equal to F minus P into T, where R is the reservoir storage in liters, F is the fire demand in liters per minute, P is the reserve fire pumping capacity in liters per minute, and T is the duration of fire in minute. The total reservoir storage can be worked out by adding all the three storage, which is give the total storage of ESR. Now thank you for the lecture attending.